Hi guys, so we are now back today. We are doing a 1994 built in camper van, aka just a normal RV style. And I actually like doing these kind of things. Now, this is just part one. I got really just done with it. I was getting stressed out about it. So I basically just said, okay, that's enough. I got it where I wanted to have it, and I'm done. I'm done for the night. I'll finish it tomorrow. And I like making these. I actually made one last year for a Let's Play that I've actually never really showed anybody. And because of it, I'm actually really happy that I've retried to make one of these again. And I kind of like the way it turned out. More so that it's actually more spacious inside than the last one I built, because I wasn't using some older mods that I actually have now. So I really like the way it turned out, and it looks great. It's not done yet, and that's the thing. It's not done, and I didn't know what I wanted to build before I came on to Sims 4. I usually know what I want to do and I do it. But tonight, I'm burnt out. It's midnight now. I just want to have this video put onto YouTube and just go to bed. And that's all I really want to do. I want to be able to get a video out and try to get at least one or two out a day. And that's going to be my new resolution from now and until next winter hits. All this summer, I'm going to try to at least get one video out. Once it hits, I can say June, there'll be only one video every other day, because when summer hits, I'm outside, I'm enjoying myself, we're walking to Walmart, we're doing things, we're out with family, and that's it. But right now, until summer hits, I'm going to try to get at least one or two videos out a day. And if I start getting burnt out, then I will just take couple days off, try to just refresh myself, and then I'll come back to what I was doing before. This video was like 1.5-ish hours long, and if the video is too fast or speedy, let me know and I'll try to fix it up eventually. I've been trying to find the sweet spot, because I've finally figured out that you can actually do your videos, pre-record, do them, and a lot of the times, if I'm doing a really quick small home build, it can be about 30 or 45 minute long video, and it can be 6 minutes eventually. So then instead of it takes an entire 7 hours for a build to upload, it takes at least half an hour. So that's something that I really like to do. I like to make as short of videos as I can. I really hate the split levels. It is so difficult to do anything. I like to do them, though. I'm really happy they are in the game now. Like, I remembered when we first got The Sims 4, we couldn't do any of these really cool fancy builds, and it would just be like a one level camper, and it would just look really stupid. And that's something that I hated making videos. Oh, I'm also having issues figuring out a new mod that I don't think it's actually working at all. So I'm going to have to go back and read the instructions of what I was doing wrong. I really don't have too much to say today. I went out today, I went shopping, and I had to make a really hard decision on what brand of cat food. There was a brand of cat food that Garfield was on, and he just didn't really care for it when he was quite little. It was just the nutrients, but it wasn't the Sub-Zero, and I was told by a couple people that a Sub-Zero is so much better for them. So I had to do, instead of getting a something that wouldn't taste right for him, because he doesn't eat anything with chicken in it, I had to go with, because I first put him on Instinct, I don't even know what the heck that cat food is, and it has the raw food boost in it, and it helped my Garfield to not shed at all. I've never seen a healthy coat on that cat ever. And now I'm actually going through the phase of Garfield has way more shedding, and I hate it. It's driving me nuts. Like, this is going to be interesting. So yeah, my day's been stressful. Also, when I was trying to build this, you're going to be seeing me pausing and trying to look for things because I forgot to install some stuff. I forgot to install some mods and some, what's that word? Just some mods and stuff that I needed. So what I usually do is I usually try to figure out what I'm doing wrong, and I usually go from there. I usually fix it up and I make it look a little bit more decent. I was having issues with this roof because I wasn't going to put a roof on this camper at all. Like, I was just going to leave it alone and just hopefully it would look good. But then I decided that no, I'm going to go out of my comfort zone and make a 1997 Puma style camper. I was raised mainly in the early 90s, the late 80s. And so I remember these older campers that was able to have like the, everything like covered, like the propane tanks in the front covered, and it was actually automatically covered to prohibit anyone from stealing, because where I was raised before, we were going back and forth from the farm to the to where I was partially raised, because we had two homes. We had we lived in a provincial park, and then we also had the family farm. So when I was very, very little, I used to take my bike, and this would be summertime, and my dad would be in charge of the neighborhood watch, or what they used to call it Crime Stoppers watch for the RCMP, and my dad was actually in charge of this. Well, when I was quite little, I was about 5 or 6, I used to bike around the entire park. I would bike from where I lived, and then I would bike all the way down Moosewood, and then I would bike all the way around where my big brother lived, and then I would bike through the entire campground, and that's where I met a lot of my old friends that I'm still friends with a couple of them, but not all of them. So a lot of it is just memories when I was a kid. I was always around these kind of things, and I had opportunities that not a lot of kids would have. Even today, not a lot of kids would have the opportunities of going camping, or having your dad saying, "Okay, kid, you're not going to school today. We're going to go up to Banff. You know, we're going to go for like a 6-week Banff trip," or something stupid like that. And that would be what my dad would always do. And I wish my father was alive today to be here for my kids, because yeah, he'd be in his 90s and he'd be probably just pushing it, just trying to take a scooter down the road. But I wish he was here, because like, he was so close to Beth when she was born, and when we had our other kids, when Dad was not here, I told him, I said, I really wish Dad was able to meet Daniel, because Daniel, he was someone that we didn't know if he was even going to live past 6 weeks. We're having difficulties with Danny when we were pregnant with him. And, yeah, but luckily he made it, and he's still here, and he's a fighter. And, he's sick right now, but he's still a fighter. And this kitchen had my nerves. I didn't know what kind of sink I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to do a single basin, but then thinking, well, it's a camper. And some campers, they do have dishwashers, but that's not ideal in a camper to have a dishwasher. So I decided to do a double basin, and I really like the way that is. I really struggled on the windows that I was doing, because I didn't have the modded windows in just yet. I had to literally stop the video and bring it back and restart it over again. And sometimes when I do these videos, I do them like automatically. I don't even think what I'm doing, I just do it. So this is the thing is I had an idea that I was going to just do a built-in TV shelf instead of a fireplace, because you can do a built-in fireplace when you order a camper, but you can decide of what you actually want in your camper, which is actually what we had the choice when we got ours. So, but I always had the choice to always have the electric fireplace. It's something that's really, really good. Now, however, I don't know if the Sims can use it. I really don't, because there's no chimney at all for this, and I wasn't going to just stick a little chimney on the back. I might eventually just go on like the internet and look for like potbelly stove chimneys or something stupid, like see if we can find something like that. But I'm gonna hope it works without starting a fire, because that would be actually really funny. I think it does work, to be honest with you. I really think it does. And I was having difficulties. I think this is when I actually finally went back in. Yeah, I went out and I went and grabbed some of the mods that I had on my old computer. And on my old computer that I had was an HP Envy. And the entire thing just crashed one day. And I was so depressed because it was like my very first gaming PC that I ever had. And I loved it. It was a piece of junk because it was HP. And HP, guys, you know this. You know this from experience, that HP is the worst brand that can ever be invented. There's been issues with HP since the dawn of time. But I had an HP as a kid, so I thought, okay, let's get an HP Envy for my very first gaming computer. Well, I wish I went for an Asus ROG, because that's what I have now. And to be honest with you, I've had a lot of like videos, a lot of YouTube videos saying they're really, really loud and they're like, they make a lot of noise. But my thing's always on a cooling pad and mine never overheats and never revs up and never makes noise, and it works perfectly. So I was so lucky to go through that with my little HP. So my little HP now is on my desk collecting dust, because I haven't really went to my senses to say, do I want to contact the company to get it fixed, or do I just want to leave it alone? And I still haven't decided if I'm going to get it fixed or not. Haven't decided yet. I just don't want it to like never turn on. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to turn it on, see what happens, and if it still says what it says, then we're going to have to figure out if it's even worth it to get it fixed. Because the bad thing is, for that laptop, it can't even be upgraded to Windows 11. And I'm now so accompanied about Windows 11. I've gotten so used to it that if I didn't have it, I would miss it. That's how much I love Windows 11 now. It's actually easier than Windows 10. And it's way more reliable, as I've noticed. Oh yeah, so here I've decided to have a tiny little pop-up for the dinette, and then have another pop-out, a little bigger, a smaller pop-out for the living area. And sometimes they actually do that. Depends on if you have a Keystone or if you have more of the premium ones they actually do. It depends on what you have. If it's a bunkhouse, they will do it. I haven't really noticed in some of them, but I know in some of them they do that. I know the one we have a toy hauler, and we have it right now in it's storage, but ours actually doesn't have that. It has one big pop out for the dinette and the sitting area for eating and stuff. I was going to have a small little, like, since this is a full-time RV camper, I was going to actually have a small, tiny little, deck there, but I made it a little bit bigger because I thought that'd be nice for a family to have a bigger deck, and it made it look a lot nicer. So this is the problem I had. I didn't know how I wanted to do this trimming, how I wanted to make it look good, and how I wanted to make it look even. And I was having a lot of issues fiddling around with the roof, especially for the pop-outs, because I want the pop-out to be all white on top. I wanted everything to be all white, because that's what the vinyl looks like on top of any camper. Any toy haul or anything, it's all white on top. Depends on if you get wraps, then you can decide what colors you actually want. And sometimes you just have it the way it is, and it's left the way it is. And I just noticed that roof is not fully fixed correctly, so I'll have to go back to that tomorrow and do that tomorrow for the part 2. And I actually have to go, and it looks like I need to bring back the roof part on the other side, because I did eventually fix this, and it looks so good. So I just used the half walls. I first used one level up for just basically and this is where I was figuring out. I remembered before I just gave up for the night that you can actually decide what colors you wanted, and remembered that there's a way to grab everything and put everything on. So that's what I was doing. Also, I was trying to figure out how to install the air conditioners, because you have to put your Coleman air conditioners onto any camper, or it's going to get awfully hot in there. And you also need to have some sort of solar, I guess. But guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you like and subscribe down below, and I will try to get part 2 out tomorrow. Hope you guys like the video. Bye for now, everyone.